Welcome to the program Angels. My name is Patty Mercer, and today we're visiting Bit of Hope Ranch, where we're going to be talking with Meg Vanderbilt about what this farm is all about. Welcome to Angels.
Thank you, Patty.
Now, Meg, obviously this is a beautiful place to work, but tell us about what you do here.
Well, we reach, rescue, and restore broken children, families, and horses.
Now let's just back up. You reach,
We do.
rescue, and restore.
We do.
Okay, broken families.
Broken families, children, and horses.
What a perspective, right? How
and
many
pigs,
horses?
and pigs and rabbits as well. So.
And I saw a couple of cats.
And cats too, just a few.
Got to keep it all together.
Yes.
But you know, you talk about bringing nature into a perspective that offers healing and comfort and a safe place for families that are going through some challenging times.
Exactly.
In terms of your mission statement, reach, you know, how do you reach them? There's a lot of children that would benefit with just, you know, being able to come to a farm and spend time with a horse, but how do you know where to find those children and how do they know about you?
Right, that's a great question. The children that we reach are at-risk children. They're disadvantaged children. They are going through a hard time.
Such as?
They may have had a death in the family, a recent broken home, struggling in school.
Anything that kind of brings their self-esteem.
Exactly. A lot of them are involved in gangs or potentially becoming involved in gangs. And so the school system are really reaching out to us, asking us for help. We have therapists that we partner with as well. A lot of times it's hard to get kids to talk in an office, but out here they forget they're in therapy because they're handling a horse or they're brushing the horse or petting the cat.
So describe for me the first time a teen comes to Bit of Hope. What are the steps involved in helping them feel comfortable and to open up and share?
Sure. Well, we do pair the teen up with a mentor. We have trained mentors here at the ranch that work with the kids and the horses, and these kids get to go pick out their partner. Our programs are all about relationships.
The mentor or the horse?
Oh, that's a good question.
I like blondes.
We do assign mentors, but they get to pick their four-legged friend. And so,
excuse me, Miss Meg. He's not working
exactly.
for me. Okay.
But I'll tell you, it's really interesting to see because there's usually a reason why the kids pick the horses that they do. And more often than not, those horses have the same personality and quirks that the kids do.
It's like they can sense this about the horse.
There is. That happens very often around here.
Wow.
So kids that maybe have some anger or impulse issues, guess which horse they're drawn to?
Is that what you mean about it's therapy for the horses too?
It is. Well, the good thing is these horses need a job. Horses need something to do. They need routine. And so this is a way they can give back and also help earn their feed as well and have a place, you know, a place they belong, somewhere to help out.
So you reach at-risk kids, helping families by working with a partner referring program through therapists, through the schools, anybody that might have access to a kid that's maybe going down a troubled path.
Exactly.
And then the next part of your mission statement is rescuing.
Yes. Yes. Once they come on the property, they are introduced to their horse, and then we work on specific skills. Often the first skill was they need to go catch their horse. You wouldn't think that would be a hard task.
Wait a minute, so the horse runs from them?
Very often, or will turn their tail towards them if they're not approached correctly.
Wow.
And so you have to understand these are 1,000-pound prey animals, and they have survived all these years by knowing when there's danger, knowing when it's safe and when it's not safe. And so they're able to hear our heartbeats. They're able to notice how fast we blink, if our palms are sweaty, and those are all keys they pick up on. And so that kid's got to build enough trust with that horse to get that horse to be okay with that kid coming up to him.
So that's really the first opportunity for confidence building and a success.
Yes.
Because I would imagine that so many of the kids who you work with have been disappointed or hurt or feel as though they don't matter. And yet when they can have that rapport with a horse, and it's so primal.
It is.
I mean, it really comes down to, like you said, the heartbeat, that sensing of shared spirits. That must be very, very powerful, and yet that's just the first step.
Oh, it is. And well, it's funny because a lot of the kids don't understand their body energy may be off the chart. And that's one reason that they may be getting in trouble in school. They're not able to control their impulses. And so that horse very quickly will let that kid know if their body language is where it needs to be.
Wow.
So it's great. It's nothing that I have to sit there and talk and lecture about. We facilitate it, and then we let the horses do the work.
So how long is the mentoring process for, let's just say there's a kid that's having difficulty in school, suddenly their behavior has changed, they don't want to go to school, they've kind of given up, and their parents know that if they continue down this path, it's only going to lead to bad choices and bigger problems. They sign up for the mentoring program. How long is that process? How many weeks?
It's 8 weeks normally. Sometimes it goes as long as 12 weeks. And then we have some kids that come back for a second semester, depending on what their problem is and what progress that they've made. So it just depends on the individual.
So how long have you been doing this?
We have been here for 4 years. The first 15 months, all we did were renovations. The property that you see now was not the property that we got on. So we reached, rescue, and restored the property as well.
So restore really was the beginning in terms of making this available. So Meg, tell me about the vision for Bit of Hope Ranch here. Where did this all begin?
That's a good question too. I've always loved horses, had a passion for kids, and saw the confidence that kids gained by working with the horses. But I wanted to offer it to kids who couldn't afford that in a traditional riding setting. So listening to Focus on the Family, Crystal Peaks Youth Ranch had a program on, and Kim Meter does the same thing that we're doing up in Oregon. And I felt like God touched my shoulder and said, you can do the same thing in Gaston County.
And you are.
And we are.
4 years later.
Exactly.
And on that note, we're going to take a break, but this is why our program is called Angels, because of people like you doing the things that we know are making such a positive difference in our community and our lives. Back in a minute.
Every year, millions make the commitment to get in shape and lose weight. Some have the motivation to begin on their own, while others lack the knowledge or the determination. If you get bored doing the same workout routine or simply need a jump start, Charlotte Fitness Group is for you. Charlotte Fitness Group utilizes cardio, resistance, and interval training to give you a full body workout every time. At Charlotte Fitness Group, we pride ourselves on working with individuals who want to get back in shape, whether it's after an injury or having a baby. We offer comprehensive nutritional coaching so you not only change your physical activity, you change your lifestyle. Our hours are flexible to accommodate most schedules, with individual sessions available anytime and group training sessions available in the mornings and evenings. We offer small groups, one-on-one training, boot camps, and other formats. If you are ready to make a change in a non-intimidating environment, then Charlotte Fitness Group is right for you.
And we're back here at Bit of Hope Ministry Ranch, I should say. It's Bit of Hope Ranch, but it really is so much in terms of love and acceptance and support that you give the at-risk youth. Wow, I have just enjoyed so much Meg Vanderbilt talking about what you do. But there's also the reality that what you do involves animals that need to eat. So there is a cost involved. Tell me a little bit about the corporate structure that Bit of Hope Ranch operates with.
Sure. Well, going back to the horses, horses do eat a lot. They are very expensive animals, but our horses always give back more than they take. We have volunteers and donors that sponsor horses, and so that means that they donate to help take care of their feet, to feed them, to provide the food and vet care that they need. We want to make sure our horses are healthy before they start working with the children. So we are volunteer-based and donation-driven.
Wow.
So it takes a lot of people and a lot of hands to do what we do.
And I liked, I read on a sign as I was coming in, pledge monthly, impact daily.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we can measure the dollar amount, but what we get back, there's no price tag you can place on that. There's also a lot of adults that love horses. So in terms of a corporate structure,
Yes.
and we were talking about it does cost, but you've got people that contribute to help offset the cost of feeding the horse, the power. I just asked you, what are your hours? And I loved your answer.
Yes, horses need care 24/7. So we are here all day, and if a horse is sick or they're in need, we're going to be here for that horse.
How many horses do you have here?
We have 13 horses on the property right now, along with several other small animals. So it takes a lot of hands to care for and feed all the animals here on the property.
I can't even begin to understand how you organize this. Do you have like a big flow chart back there? Is it a rotational basis?
And I have a genius of a volunteer that keeps it all organized for me. But we do. It takes a lot of hours, a lot of dollars to make this place run. Some of the programs that we do encourage people to participate in are the child sponsorship program, where
Tell me about that.
That is where for $10 a month, a family can donate $10 a month to our program, and that will help ensure that we can offer these programs to kids at no cost. The kids that need these programs.
Because the mentoring program, there is no cost.
There is no cost. We do not turn a child away for the mentoring program.
So you can sponsor $10 a month. What about corporate partnerships? Are there any larger corporations that are giving very, very generously?
Absolutely. We encourage the corporations to take advantage of our branding rights. They can put their name on a specific structure around the property, and that also shows the kids that there are people that believe in what they're doing, and they're here to support them as well. Something else, just because we have a beautiful property,
Oh, you do. It's gorgeous.
is that we offer rentals. We rent out for parties, for weddings, for corporate team building. We have a low ropes course coming next year that will give us many other opportunities, field trips for the school systems and things like that. So there's a lot of ways that people can help support what we do.
Now, where can they go? Is there a website to learn, you know, from A to Z what you're doing right now?
Yes, absolutely. It's bitofhoperanch.org. That will take you to our website, and you can see videos about things that we've done, read about the children, read about the horses, and learn how to get involved.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us
Thank
today
you.
on Angels. We're going to talk to the volunteer coordinator, Josie Connors, and learn more about how the community can get involved and bring more hope to Bit of Hope Ranch. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Every year, millions make the commitment to get in shape and lose weight. Some have the motivation to begin on their own, while others lack the knowledge or the determination. If you get bored doing the same workout routine or simply need a jump start, Charlotte Fitness Group is for you. Charlotte Fitness Group utilizes cardio, resistance, and interval training to give you a full body workout every time. At Charlotte Fitness Group, we pride ourselves on working with individuals who want to get back in shape, whether it's after an injury or having a baby. We offer comprehensive nutritional coaching so you not only change your physical activity, you change your lifestyle. Our hours are flexible to accommodate most schedules, with individual sessions available anytime and group training sessions available in the mornings and evenings. We offer small groups, one-on-one training, boot camps, and other formats. If you are ready to make a change in a non-intimidating environment, then Charlotte Fitness Group is right for you.
Well, we've talked with Meg here at Bit of Hope Ranch, and now Josie Connor about the volunteers, because it wouldn't be possible without those that give their time, their love, and attention to the animals, like the mini ponies behind us. I think they want to be in the camera too.
Probably so.
But Josie, tell us more about how the volunteer program works. Can anybody just come and participate?
Well, yes and no. I mean, the first prerequisite, of course, is to have a desire to help out with the children. It helps if you have some horse knowledge, but we have volunteer opportunities that don't require interaction with the horses. So when I find out that there's someone that's interested, we have different times that we bring people out and do orientation, and we start training them, because that's always more helpful for our program if we have a trained volunteer. So we do different things depending on the skill level of the volunteer and where they're interested.
So tell me about the different jobs that are available where the help is needed.
Sure. There are lots. When we are in sessions, which our regular sessions are in the fall and the spring, then we are in need of mentors, whether that is in our group sessions or our individual one-on-one sessions. We need volunteers, and it takes anywhere from 25 to 30 volunteers a week just to do the sessions. So that's just interacting with the children. Then there are volunteers needed, because I know Meg told you about our horses and eating.
Yes.
They don't care if it's sunny, if it's snowing, if it's raining. They eat 365, some twice a day, but most of them at least once a day. And so we have a whole nother set of volunteers who give their time 2 to 2.5, 3 hours if you have to blanket a day, twice a day, 7 days a week, all through the year.
That's fantastic. I love how at Bit of Hope Ranch, this little one was actually born here, and her name is
Hope.
Is Hope. She's beautiful. So many opportunities to care for the animals and give back to the at-risk youth, which is really the core of what you're all about. Is there an age that is, I guess, in terms of volunteers, are we looking at senior citizens? Are we looking at high school kids? Or who are your volunteers?
Well, yes is the quick answer to all of the above. It just depends. To interact with the horses, we require that volunteers be 18, and there are some exceptions, but from a safety standpoint. But our volunteers range in age from 15 to 16 years up to early 60s. And so we, as long as they have that love, we will train them. And our philosophy is, if it's something that they're doing to honor our program and to honor God, then it'll be useful and productive. And so make good on that.
That's awesome. I'd like to know what you feel the takeaway is for a volunteer. What would, let's just say a high school student volunteering, how would they benefit by serving Bit of Hope Ranch?
Well, my own children have done things out here, from construction to being around to interact at our family nights. And for them, it's important for my children and other children like them to see that not everybody comes from a home where there's a mom and a dad and, you know, a sound, safe environment. And a lot of our children don't have two parents, or they're being raised by a grandparent or a guardian or a foster situation. So it gives children who are not in that situation a view, and to know that there's a world outside of just their world. I think so much in today's times, not just teenagers, but we all become very self-centered. And if you volunteer in anything, but especially out here, you take away much more than you give. It's impossible not to.
Well, you know, you talk about learning tolerance and understanding that not everybody lives as you do. I think that's a lesson that we all learn, maybe at that first spend the night at someone else's house, and we see the way, well, what they serve for dinner isn't what you're used to. But one thing we were talking about a little earlier, a bandana has a completely different meaning.
It does.
Than one would think. Tell us about that.
Well, for some of our children, especially some of our at-risk youth and gang prevention kids, they come from gang situations. And for them, that is their family. That's where they find their identity. And one of the markers for gangs, at least in our community, are bandanas and different colors. Because of our cowboy program, we approach bandanas differently out here. We educate about the many uses that a bandana can be used for. But when these children first get off of a bus or a van and they see the bandanas, there's sort of a, you know, whoa kind of look. And so we have to address that early on, especially with that age and that background.
That's amazing. Some of the things that we grew up taking for granted, such as just being outside, playing, learning to care for the responsibility of an animal, we get so busy wrapped up in our own day-to-day activities that we forget that there are children that don't have the things that we did. And one thing about Bit of Hope Ranch, you pause, you process, and when you just realize how much beauty there is in nature and the beauty of the hearts that are volunteering their time, it's life-changing. Is there a specific story or person, a teen that was on the verge of really going down the wrong path with, you know, consequences that would just be devastating, that comes to mind where you saw that change?
Sure. I mean, there are a lot, but there are two particular that come to mind. One summer we had a group of children out here, And I had a little brother and sister that I happened to be working with, and they were fighting about whose turn it was to lead the horse, and I just thought, I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with these children. You know, I was so much focused on whose turn it is to hold the lead rope, and we finally get back in the barn and we're grooming the horse, and the kids, their whole demeanor changed. And they just were different children. They were animated, they talked, they loved
were having
on that
fun.
horse, they were having fun. But afterwards, their counselor came up to me, and a lot of times we don't know backgrounds on our children. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And I did not know about these two particular siblings. But the counselor came up to me afterwards, and she said that was so huge for them because they had just been removed from their home from being sexually abused. And for them to open up like that, not just around another living creature, but also an adult, was a big turning point. The other story that comes to mind is a little girl that we had out here recently at a special program, and we were taking hay rides. And I did not know the child's name, but I was standing with a group waiting to get on a hayride, and she came coming up, running out of nowhere, and she had a rock, and she said, "Miss Josie, I made something for you." And I said, "Okay." So on one side, she had scratched B-O-H. And I said, "Okay, I know what that means." She goes, "Well, look at the other side." And it said I-H-H. And I said, "Okay, tell me what I-H-H is." And she said, "I have hope." Well, it just, to me, that symbolizes everything we do with volunteers and children. You know, no matter, because we all bring stuff to the table, good, bad, and indifferent. But when we come down that driveway as volunteers, you feel it, whatever you've faced at work or at home, it just melts off. And then to have a situation like that with a child, you know that what you're doing is meaningful and making changes in children's lives.
You've changed a life, one bit of hope at a time.
That's right.
And it can be the smallest connection,
Yes.
a little writing that gives you the confirmation of knowing
Yes.
that you made a difference and that child made the connection. That's what Bit of Hope Ranch is all about. And just driving in today, there's a feeling here. And that's what this program is all about. It's about highlighting those places that you don't see just advertised over and over, highlighting the goodness. It's just what you see when you drive down that long driveway and you feel a difference is being made here in a positive way for those kids that need help through the animals, getting back to nature. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's been just an honor and privilege to meet you today and meet Meg, and I hope that you'll have an opportunity to come out and see for yourself Bit of Hope Ranch. This is Patty Mercer. This is what Angels is all about. Join us next time as we learn more about the heroes that live among us. Bye.